You're watching BCTV. We're all about Branford. You're watching BCTV, Branford Government Television, a service of Branford Community Television. This program is brought to you in part through the support of the town of Branford.
Legal notice, Town of Branford. The Planning and Zoning Commission of the Town of Branford, Connecticut hereby gives notice of public hearings to be held on Thursday, September 18, 2025 at 7 p.m. by remote technology to consider the applications listed below. Information regarding how to participate in the public hearings will be provided on the Commission's meeting agenda that will be posted on the town's website at least 24 hours prior to the meeting. Application number 25-7.3, zoning map amendment to apply the incentive housing overlay district IHOD to 230 East Main Street. Stresha Management LLC owner, Attorney Len Fasano applicant. Application number 25-7.4, special exception to construct 6 residential units located at 230 East Main Street. Chestra Management LLC owner, Attorney Len Fasano applicant. At said hearings, all persons will have the right to be heard. Copies are on file in the Planning and Zoning Commission's office at the Planning and Zoning Department, 1019 Main Street, Branford, Connecticut, 06405. Written communications may be sent to the above address or to Planning and Zoning at branford-ct.gov. Branford Planning and Zoning Commission, C. Andres, chairperson.
Chair, thank you, Fred. We'll follow our normal format for public hearings, which is that the applicant goes first, makes a presentation, including any consultants that may wish to present. After the applicant makes his presentation, we turn it over to the commission staff, typically hear a summary from a staff report from our town planner or assistant planner, open it up for questions and comments from commission members. At that point, we'll open it up to the public. Any member of the public who wishes to comment, we'll ask McKeel to go through that process. We ask that you identify yourself for the record, make your comments. After the public portion, we turn it over. We allow the applicant to respond to any public comment, and there may be further questions and comments from commission members or staff. We may or may not close the public hearing depending on how it goes. And with that, I'm going to ask McKeel, can you just review the process for participating in the Zoom public hearing process, both for applicants and for the public when we get to the public portion?
Thank you, Chairman. McKeel Wackers, Town Planner. I posted these instructions in the chat, so they're available to read. But quickly, if you wish to speak and you're using a computer with a microphone, please use the click raised hand in the participant window. If you are calling in by phone, press *9 to raise your hand. And dial-in information is listed on the agenda. If you don't wish to speak, you may submit comments in the chat feature. We will monitor the chat the best we can, but speaking is preferred. A reminder, if you wish to speak, you must provide your name as required by Public Act 22-3, and all details are again available on the agenda. Chairman?
Chuck Anders, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Wackers. With that, we'll start with our public hearing items. Item number 1 and 2 relate to the same property, but item number 1, it's Attorney Len Fasano for Shrestha P Management LLC. It's a zoning map amendment to add the incentive housing overlay zone to the property at 230 Main Street. And the second one is a special exception to construct 7 residential units on 230 Main Street, which is contingent, I believe, on the first one being adopted. And those also, the attorney, Len Fasano, is the applicant, and Shrestha P Management LLC is owner for that. So with that, Mr. Fasano, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good evening to you and the commission. For the record, my name is Attorney Len Fasano. My office is at 107 Monterey Street in Branford. Basically, what this is a property that's already constructed at 230 East Main Street. Many of you have seen it on the road, I am sure. There's commercial on the first floor. The pizzeria is there, which is also owned by the property owners. My client is on the Zoom by way of phone, just for the record. This has already been constructed. It's commercial. What was approved is commercial on the first floor, and then on the second floor are offices, and on the third floor there was an office, two offices, and two apartments on the third floor. That's what's already been approved. The renting of those offices have turned out to be quite problematic, given the nature of the world these days. And what the proposal is really taking the same footprint of each one of those offices and turn them into, instead of 7 offices, additional, should say 5 offices into apartments. Therefore, for a total of 7 apartments. It all be within the envelope. There's no breaking of the building in any manner. There's no structure on the outside. This is all internal construction of the project, nothing on the outside. We have applied as the chairman and as was read for the application Incentive Housing Overlay District, which you all know a lot better than I do probably. And we meet all the criteria relative to those listed in your regulations. We're on a major road. We've got the bus route. We certainly have the area, the height, because the building's already there. We meet the height, the floor, et cetera. So everything, all the criteria are met relative to the overlay zone. We've also done a affordable housing plan designating units to be affordable, which we could talk about. And I know in the staff comments, it was to identify the units with more particularity, which we don't have an objection to, obviously. Speaking about the staff comments, it seemed to be somewhat favorable to the project in terms of agreeing that the incentive housing overlay district fits with the area and with the development that's there, and seem to be supportive of the zone map amendment. So with that, that's what I really just have on that without beating it down any further. No construction outside, everything is inside. We meet all the conditions relative to the regulations. Mr. Chairman, with that, did you want me just to go into a little bit of the special exception portion, or pause and wait for questions? What is the desire?
Since they're so linked, why don't you go ahead and we'll just have the public hearing serve as a public hearing for both applications, since they're sort of related. And then there would obviously need to be separate votes on each, but I think they kind of make sense. So you can proceed with the details about the special exception as well.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So just to reiterate, in the maps that are with your with my application that I believe you've gotten, it would show the existing property. There is a existing condition map survey showing meets bounds and distances from side yards, etc. And then you'll see that that map shows really 3 offices, with 1 big office on the second floor, 2 offices in addition to the 1 big office. The proposal is to make a 3-bedroom apartment for 1, and then 1 single bedroom apartment for the other 2. On the 3rd floor, there are 2 offices, currently 2 bedrooms, and the idea would be changing those 2 offices into bedrooms. And those floor plans and layouts are there, showing what is proposed. I think it was brought up before the meeting about a planting plan. We did submit a planting plan. If you go by there, there are some plants in the ground. I think this beefs up a little bit more. That plan is dated 8/29/24. Well, it is dated 8/29/24. to show what is there and what has been planted. It was part of the site plan application, as I understand it. So we show what is there. If you drove by the building, and many of us have because it's on that main road, pretty much landscaping is already in place and mature. Obviously, if the commission wants more, we can talk about that. Relative to the site plan or special exception, same thing. It fits with the character of the neighborhood. There is nothing in there that's a huge traffic generator at all. In fact, one could argue it's less. And it's just fitting with the times that we're living in and fitting with the development accordingly up and down the Main Street, East Main Street. I really don't have much more to offer because it's a unique project in that it's already there. So I don't have to visualize it for you. I don't know if there's any questions, Mr. Chairman, but my presentation is relatively short given the status of the project.
Chuck Anderson, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Fasano. We may have some questions, but first we'll turn it over to McKeel to summarize the staff report, and we'll open up for questions.
If I could just one more thing, I apologize, Mr. Chairman. Last week, we did get approval from WPCA. I forgot to mention that.
Approval for a capacity approval or
Capacity approval, subject to some agreement that I signed with the attorney for the town about payment. But other than that, we've got capacity approval, my understanding.
Great. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Fasano. With that, Chuck Anderson, Chair. McKeel, do you want to summarize? Again, there's two separate items, but summarize your staff report as to the
Yes.
both the zone change and the special exception.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. McKeel Wackers, town planner. So the staff report that was sent out, this is two applications, but essentially one supports the other. It's a zoning map amendment to allow the incentive housing overlay district to be applied to this property, which is a business limited district property. And then to allow a special exception to permit 7 upper story dwellings, so apartments within the existing structure. The upper story buildings would go on floor 2 and 3, and the first floor has a restaurant and a grocery store. The only really exterior changes has been reported is the landscaping on the exterior. The landscaping plan is actually a landscaping plan that was approved from a 2022 approval at the property, and has since been implemented, and they're looking to essentially allow that to be used for this project. The 7 units does require 2 affordable units per the regulations of the high HOD zone. They'll be affordable at 80% of AMI, and they would need to be deed restricted as affordable. So they would have to be filed on the land record, and they need to be affordable according to 830G requirements so that to be credited to the town for as affordable units. We went through and did an analysis of the plans. So they did submit floor plans. I have a really quick screen grab of the 2 floors, the 7 apartments, 1, 2, 3 on the second floor, and then apartments 4, 5, 6, and 7 on the third floor. We circulated these to departments for comments. Fire marshal and the building official really had no comments. They'll review the plans if we approve this special exception. They'll need engineered plans in order to be able to do the review, which is normal. The town engineer did require that an application be made to WPCA, which the applicant has done and completed. For the landscaping plan that was actually approved in 2022 and has now been implemented in the last year, 3 street trees and then shrubs, as well as some buffering trees along the western boundary. It meets the parking requirements given the existing layout. They have 22 parking spaces currently, only required to have 19 because the apartment units actually require less parking than the office space required. As indicated, it is on a bus line. It is in a more densely developed part of the town. Both are aspects that encouraged, at least by the POCD, the IHOD zone, in areas where there's existing transportation access, public water, and public sewer. The proposal cannot exceed 20 units per acre. And this proposal of 7 units on the property, sorry, I'm scrolling, is a density of 14 units per acre. So they're still below the 20 units maximum allowed. Going to findings and conditions. We drafted a draft amendment finding that we recommend that it's compliant with the plan conservation development as well with the comprehensive plan with an effective date. Should actually put October. I think we said 2nd. And then there's also special exception findings here that it conforms to the regulations for this particular use. We do have a number of conditions that we would like to apply to this. The housing plan needs to be corrected. There was a revised one that was submitted. We just want to be clear that that the 7 rental apartments, we require 2 of the units to be affordable, and the housing plan needs to be revised to reflect that and submitted prior to issuance of occupancy. Prior to the issuance of zoning occupancy, we also want to make sure that the restrictions are reviewed by the town attorney and that they meet the requirements of 830G. They're affordable at 80% of very medium income, or 80% of state medium income, which is ever more restrictive. And they need to comply with all departmental comments, which so far they have. Obviously, town or fire marshal and building official, they'll still need to comply with. The one thing I did want to add is that since the landscaping plan from 2022, which was proposed and looks like it has been recently implemented, I want to make sure that it is implemented fully. I have not had a chance to check it and compare it to what was done. But if it's not implemented fully by the time of certificate of occupancy, we want the Planning and Zoning Commission to authorize a financial guarantee to be established, an amount necessary to complete the landscaping plan. And then we have our traditional or standard lighting requirements. And then we make this a effective date of October 2nd. I'm happy to answer any questions and turn it back over to the chairman.
Second to Chair, thank you, Mr. Wackers. Do any commission member have any questions either for McKeel or for the applicant?
Yeah, I'm just curious as to what has been planted. Sharon Hutner here.
So from what I have seen, they have done plantings, but I've noticed in looking at the history of the property and when things look like they've changed from aerial photography as well as some street photography, those plantings were only done within the last 6 months. So I don't have a sign off telling me that it complies yet. I do see that there's 3 street trees, it looks like. I don't know if they're the right species. I do see that there are the buffering trees along the western boundary. I have not done the count or compared to what there need to be done. Now, in fairness, the applicant looks like they're implementing it. And I just don't have enough data to verify if what was approved in 2022 is correct yet. Mostly because I don't have a sign off from the zoning enforcement officer stating that fact.
Would the applicant know what they're planning to plant there?
I would say that they have submitted a plan. There is a detailed list of species. I can read them off.
Yeah.
So they're looking to have 3 city slicker river birch trees, 7 dark American arborvitae, 33 hydrangea bushes, 2 Japanese holly, 2 blue maid holly, and then also a variegated turf lily, I'm assuming is a decorative grass. It says a quantity of 212. I just can't verify that that has been completely implemented or not.
Well, I appreciate the more specific information, so thanks for that.
Chuck and Marcy?
Yeah, just a point of note since Nikhil wasn't here. This was one of those projects where the planting plan that was proposed couldn't conform to the regulations at the time because of the side yard to the neighboring property. And it was one that we approved based on, the phrase, Chuck, exceptional.
Excellence in landscape design.
Yeah, thank you. but it's one of those examples for you to note of where it's really a little less. I'm trying to think what the word I'm looking for. A little less specified and a little bit more just based on reviewing what's submitted and feeling like they're doing as much as they could given the space that was allowed. And that was really what the consensus was when it was first approved. So just wanted to offer that for your information.
Thank you, Marcy.
Yeah.
Any other questions, comments from commission members?
Joe Chadwick, I have a question on, I am not sure to what extent the staff report has bearing on the final action of the committee, but it states that there are 6 one-bedroom units equal to 6 parking spaces in the parking calculations table. There are 7 units, some of them are 2-bedroom, one's a 4-bedroom. I think there's like 13 units. I couldn't really read very well because the copy I have is kind of pixelated. But if this is part of the chain of informed decision that makes the zoning action, I would rather this be correct rather than us having to come back later to fix it after, if it comes up to be a problem later.
Yeah, just quickly respond. Yeah, the original proposal received was for 6 apartments. It is 7 now. So I think it's 6 1-bedrooms and 1 2-bedroom apartment. So that would require
the plan that was submitted with it shows 7 units. 7 units is referenced in other places and in other tables.
Yeah,
and we have a net count of, like I said, the best I could read with the pixelation.
that's correct.
Is 13 bedrooms. I don't know if that's going to affect the parking count, but like I said, I just want to be sure that when we vote on this, that there's not going to be a problem later if somebody comes back and says, well, this does not match.
Is the parking calculated by bedroom? And I haven't checked. You said 13 bedrooms. That seems, how many? There's only one. Wait a minute. There were 6 1-bedrooms. How do we get 13 bedrooms? I guess that's
no. If you go to look at the plan, Chuck.
Right. Maybe you can pull it up. Yeah. You're right. It's kind of pixelated. It's hard to see.
Yeah. Unit 1 appears to have 4 bedrooms. Unit 2 is a 1-bedroom. Unit 3 is 2 bedrooms. 4 is a single bedroom. 5 is 2 bedrooms, it looks like. 6 is 2 bedrooms, and 7 is 1 single bedroom.
So
I apologize. I don't know how to raise my hand on this thing. I've been searching the bottom for a while and I can't find a hand, so I apologize for butting in. If it's okay, Mr. Chairman, if I can help clarify.
Yeah. Certainly, Chuck Anderson here, Mr. Fasano. Do you want to help clarify?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, starting on the second floor, it does show 4 bedrooms. And I should have mentioned this earlier. We're only going to have 3 bedrooms on the second floor in one apartment, not 4. Then across the hall from that would be a 1 bedroom and then a 2 bedroom. So that's 6. Then upstairs, we would have a 1 bedroom for 7, a 2 bedroom for 9, a 1 bedroom for 10, and a 2 bedroom for 12.
Okay.
That helps the commission, Chadwick.
Okay.
I'm just trying to reconcile what's on the recitals compared to what's, given the fact that's backing up what we're voting on as a staff report. So that's all I'm trying to do is harmonize the.
Yeah. Just to the chair real quick, based on that count, so it's the parking spaces are not, they're influenced by bedrooms. So a 1 bedroom would be 1 parking space. A 2 bedroom apartment or more would have 2 spaces. So with the count that was just dictated, that'd be 10 parking spaces total required.
It's 12.
Which would mean a 23 parking spaces. So 22 are proposed. So they need to have another parking space somewhere situated, or the commission would need to do a modification, special exception.
Yeah, so I can. Hi, my name is Gopinda. Can I clarify those bedroom? It's a little bit confusing there. I'm the property owner, so can I clarify that?
Sure.
Hello?
Yep. Go ahead, sir.
Yes. Also, third floor, we have already 2 1 bedroom, and that's already we have an existing, and 2 of the studio apartments. So that's going to be 1 bedroom each. And second floor, we have a 1 3 bedroom and 2 1 bedroom and 1 bedroom, 1 bedroom. Altogether, 1 2 3 4, 5 6, 6 and 8, 6 and 3 9 10. Altogether 10 bedroom, not a 13.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
I
I
think
think
it's very clear on the plans, is it?
yeah.
He's saying 10 additional bedrooms, not 10 total. It's 12.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's 12 total bedrooms, soup to nuts. 10 additional bedrooms is what he's saying.
Okay. And Mr. Wackers has clarified that means you need additional parking space. Mr. Fasano, I don't know if you're in a position to, I think, or you have to get in something else, but right, apparently the plan doesn't comply because it lacks a parking space. That's
Because
my
of
take.
the extra bedroom, Ms. Wackers?
Well, I think what we need is a definitive unit count and then do a definitive parking calculation, which is hard to do on the fly here in the meeting.
Yes, it is. It is. Because we added that 1 more unit between the first application and the second.
That probably adds to the confusion. But I would
Yeah.
say we need to clarify that so the commission can adequately evaluate this application.
Okay.
Mr. Fasano, do you want to continue this?
Let's continue it to the next hearing, and then I'll talk to Mr. Wackers, get back to the designer with the appropriate, just so I can understand, if we have, with the parking spaces that are there, if we have 12 bedrooms total, soup to nuts, what would be the spaces we would be short?
I think we can probably discuss this offline.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So then I think we can continue this. Our next meeting is when? It's sort of a busy one, October 9th, right?
Correct.
Right. Okay. So to help get that clarified and make sure it conforms, we can continue both of these public hearings. Well, I'll just say, does any other commission member? We never even open up to the public, but and I don't think we. If anyone's here on the public, that likely we will be continuing this one, so you can reserve your comments. There may be some modifications to the plan. So, but any other commission member have any comment? Are we okay with continuing this? Okay, hearing no comment, then we will go ahead and continue public hearings number 1 and 2 to our meeting on October 9th at also a Zoom meeting starting at 7 p.m. Thank you, Mr. Fasano.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members of the commission.
With that, then we'll go to old business. Item number 1 is Susan McMahon, applicant and owner, 45 Lamphere Cove Camp, coastal site plan to reconstruct the existing garage. Is the applicant ready to proceed with that?
I'm representing the applicant tonight. I apologize. I have no way of raising my hand in this version of Zoom, but I'm representing the applicant this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You may just identify yourself and proceed.
Thank you. My name is Trina Learned. I am a board member at Lamphere Cove Association. I live at 53 Lamphere Cove Association, and I'm the chair of the Building Improvements Fund Committee. My understanding is that the staff report has been submitted and that the questions have been answered. I am here to answer any questions, not necessarily to present. So I apologize if that is confusing.
Chuck Anderson, thank you, Ms. Learned. Do you have anything else you'd like to present? I can turn it over to the staff to explain the staff report, but is there anything else you'd like to present at this time?
The only thing I would add is that this application by Ms. McMahon is completely in compliance with the standards and expectations of the Lamphere Cove Association. It has gone through our rigid approval process and meets all of our requirements. And as many of you may know, the Lamphere Cove Association is the landowner. Individuals own their cottages. So this is something that this particular application we completely sanction and approve. Thank you.
Chuck, understand. Thank you. Mr. Wackers, you want to review or Dan, did you prepare the staff report and you want to review this with us?
Yes, I did. I'll go ahead and share my screen. Let's see here. Can everyone see the screen?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, all right. So, like it was said, this is 45 Lamphere's Cove Camp. They're demolishing the current cottage and rebuilding a new one within the same footprint. It's within the coastal management area. So it has to abide by our coastal management regulations, as well as it gets referred to DEEP. DEEP had no issues with it. It adhered to the basic standards. It's a legal non-conforming, but they're not expanding the footprint. So there's no issue there. Here's an aerial view of it, highlighted in yellow there. And the other department comments, no one had any issues with it. It was referred to police, fire marshal, town engineer, health department, building official. No issues were raised. Again, DEEP let us know earlier this week that they find it consistent with the Coastal Management Act and the Connecticut General Statutes. So all these findings together lead me to suggest that the coastal site plan application is approved, finding that it's, again, consistent with the goals and policies of the Coastal Area Management Act, CGS Section 22A-92, and with the conditions that prior to the start of construction, erosion control measures shall be installed, and the coastal site plan approval shall have an effective date of October 6th, 2025.
You're mute, Chuck.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Chuck Anders, Chair. Do you, any questions or comments from commission members for either the applicant or for Mr. Robinson? Hearing none. This is not something, it's not a public hearing, so we don't need to open it up to the public. So I think that unless someone else has any comments, we can close this matter, and it should be something we should be able to take up shortly. So we thank you, Miss Learned, and I expect we'll be taking this up in a little bit.
Thank you.
And with that, so that's it for item number 1 of old business. And I think items number 2, 3, 4, and 5 all have public hearings scheduled. So we're not going to be addressing those this evening. So maybe we can take up this item, item number 1 of old business, which is, again, the 45 Lanphier Cove Camp coastal site plan application, which seemed to be, frankly, fairly simple. A replacement of an existing structure. It has the blessing of the association. No, it doesn't seem to be an expansion. Not a lot of coastal impacts. Dan, can you pull up your staff report again?
Of course. There it is.
Okay. So I guess we'll open it up. Any commission member have any comments about this before we take a vote? Looks like it's straightforward as it seems then. Does someone then want to make a motion to approve the application by adopting the finding and the one finding regarding consistency with the Coastal Area Management Act and the 2 conditions, standard conditions that are on the staff report that's presently displayed in front of us?
Fred Russo will make that motion.
Motion to approve by Fred. Is there a second?
Chadwick seconds.
Second by Joe Chadwick. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Joe Chadwick?
Joe Chadwick is in favor.
Fred Russo?
Fred Russo's in favor.
Joe Vayuso?
Joe Vayuso in favor.
Marcy Pelusi?
Marcy's in favor.
And the chair is also in favor. Okay, then just going down, rehearse the old business. Items number 2 and 3 are zoning text amendments that McKeel has drafted. And the public hearing is scheduled for our next meeting. McKeel, anything you want to update with us about, or will you review it all?
Those 2 items will be scheduled for the 10/23, so it's
okay. Okay, so those are actually scheduled for 10/23, not 10/9. Okay,
correct.
So I was misreading. So that's a month.
Yes, I will add that these are departmental requested zoning text amendments. The drafts were sent out over the summer for comment from the commission, and if you want to see them again, I'm happy to resend that out if you want to share comments prior to the meeting.
Okay, Chuck answered. Yes, but thank you. Yeah, that makes sense. One of them, the landscaping one, that was we had some serious discussions about that, a couple of public hearings, and it was, so this is the bold attempt by McKeel just to move that one forward. So, Yeah, so if anyone wants to comment before the hearing, send comments to McKeel. So that's items that's 2 and 3, and then Teddy's is at our next meeting. That's a special exception, and that's number 4. Number 5 also looks like another accessory dwelling unit. A couple things also scheduled for our next meeting. So we'll cover that at our public hearing at our next meeting. That brings us then to new business. And then looks like we have, there's 6, and then Michelle mentioned another one came in. So I guess there's one that's not on the agenda. And I think we've got to receive and schedule these for public hearings. Mikhail, do you want to comment on any of these? Or I don't know if they need public hearings. Right?
Correct. That's the question mark. So 261 East Main Street was actually approved by special exception already as the key element here is that you approved a garage on this commercial property. They want to put office space above it now, so it's now a garage with a 2nd story. It's a modification to the existing special exception. It's whether or not you want to require a public hearing or not.
Okay, so that's for item number 1. And I think what our regulations say when someone modifies a special exception, we have the option of requiring a public hearing, but we don't have to if we consider it minor. I don't know. I don't have the exact language, but something like that. And this do you have a recommendation? I mean, we haven't seen the application yet, or what?
The change is requiring a CAM review, whereas it didn't previously. So I would, we'll have additional information. It's not changing the footprint. It's not changing anything really from what you approved previously, except now there's a 2nd story of office space. There is other office space on the property. So it's not entirely a new use on the property. It's just an additional use.
When did we approve the initial one?
It was last year.
And was this a controversial one? I'm trying to remember. Has the applicant requested?
Yeah. So it was received in November, and you guys, a notice of decision was issued on January 27th.
Okay, this year?
Correct.
Okay, so it's relatively recent.
Correct.
I'm trying to remember what it was and if there was any. I'm surprised that we didn't require CAM then and we would now. Why would that be?
Because it was technically an accessory structure, and
it came with an exemption, and this one doesn't.
But now you're getting office space, bathroom. It's more than just a garage.
Got it. Okay, what do people think?
Fred Russo. Mikhail, has the garage actually been built? The one that they originally?
It's under construction, but I have not seen any vertical construction yet. Okay, so they're doing a lot of site work, is what I'm getting at. Okay, so I was just trying to clarify whether or not the garage was built, and then now they decided to put a 2nd story, or are they really just coming back and looking for a second? They dissected the application by saying we want a garage, and even though the garage is not built, we really want to modify it and make it a 2-story building. It's not the same thing as having the garage in place and then asking to raise another level up. That's what I wanted to clarify. Yeah, this is really a modification. They are doing work elsewhere on the property, but they have not started this building yet. Now, I guess my concern is this really being modified, or is this just being reproposed for more than what it originally was approved for? You can approve something and nothing gets done,
and then we're going to approve something for something that's not been done.
Yeah.
We're going to add another story on top of that. There doesn't seem like there's any consistency to the way that they've approached this.
That sounds like good questions for the applicant to answer at a review.
I'll ask them.
So public hearing or no? That's the question we got to decide now. Anyone have any thoughts? I mean, we can always default to a public hearing. Can't hurt.
Joe Vayuso, I have a question.
Yeah. Sure.
The original, is this office going to be another floor on top of this original building, or is this the same height, and they're just changing the use on the second floor?
It's adding a second floor that will be office, so it's a larger structure now in terms of height.
Yeah. Chuck, I'm with you. I don't remember this at all, and I'm trying to think where 261 is, so it's got to be down the street from the 230 we just heard.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's by Mill Plain, I think. I kind of remember down it's near the Branford River there.
I see some construction right past that place they sell tires.
That's where it is.
That's the site.
Well, not a lot of retail, not a lot of residential there. I don't think it's going to affect too many. It's not like it's in the neighborhood or something. So, but that CAM situation, and we have some questions about a few things. Maybe it does warrant a public hearing, but it's a minor public hearing in my mind, just to tidy up legalities.
Sure. Judge Chadwick, any opinion?
The direction seems to be it's worth a public hearing.
Okay.
Lord knows I'm not going to try to force these things, but
right.
Seems
Okay.
like it's worth our
Okay.
time.
Anyone else? Okay, so why don't we schedule it for a public hearing?
Marcy.
I just want to
Marcy.
confirm, is this the Florentine building that they came in for the storage for the boat? That property that was sold next to it had a couple of applications at one point. It was going to have food trucks. And then they came back with a garage for boat storage.
The applicant is a Mark Jackson, so I don't.
I think I think I know the previous owner.
I think
of the
it
building,
is.
that's what I'm saying. But I've just
Yeah, I
it's
think
had a
it
number
is.
of uses proposed is my point. So
Right. I think that's it. That was right around this area, but I think you're right. Yeah, we had some questions at the time, and but it was a boat
first it was
storage.
going to be
The
like
guy
some
was
kind of
moving
food
his-
truck thing, and then it was they
Right.
needed the garage for boat storage. So
Yeah,
I'm just
I thought
offering
he-
that to refresh people's memory. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
that
do
was-
agree with the public hearing.
It was food truck. Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah.
Yeah, that never got built. I think that got abandoned. Right. Okay, so public hearing. Okay, so let's just do it. We schedule that for public hearing, McKill.
Okay.
Okay. So then, and then item number 2, that's another one, a special exception modification. We have the same question of whether to schedule, is this a minor one that we can waive the public hearing for? And that is what is that, the pickleball?
It's the pickleball. It's actually getting its final CO. So this modification is to essentially allow for a liquor permit. So since that was never disclosed in their special exception presentation before, we felt that was a significant enough change that it had to come back to the commission, at least to be heard, whether or not it's a public hearing element or not. So I just, again, leave it to the commission to determine if this is minor. I do view this much more an accessory use. But, liquor is taken seriously, I guess.
Right. Yeah, I think that's it.
Pickleball.
What?
I said you can call it get pickleball.
Right. Get pickles, right? Yeah. On the one hand, it's like no changes to any of it. It's kind of the same use. I don't know if they serve beverages now with alcohol. On the other hand, sometimes anything with liquor with alcohol, it can be unique and a concern. So, there we go. So, any thought? I mean, and anyone have any ideas, thoughts, some feelings one way or the other?
I mean, from a staff perspective, I don't think it really changes the nature of the use. I view it much more like a bowling alley with a liquor license. They did not disclose that in their original presentation and felt that that's important, at least to disclose it now. I don't think it necessarily requires a public hearing per se, but I can be wrong if the commission feels otherwise.
Yeah.
Is that
Considering the location and the use and all that, I mean, I think what they're talking, they're not opening up a full-fledged bar, is what I understand. They're just going to be able to legally sell beverages. And won't they be under some kind of a legal liquor regulations of some kind at the same time? So,
Correct.
For casual use, like they're, I think the way I get it, maybe they're not opening a bar, are they? They're just a casual use to serve liquor when people are playing ball there or whatever. I think if that's the case, I don't think it needs a public hearing.
Thanks, Joe. Anyone else think?
I agree with Joe.
Other thoughts? Agree with Joe? Marcy, okay with that?
I don't have a strong opinion one way or the other.
Okay. Joe Chadwick?
No opinion.
Okay. Okay. It sounds like someone want to make a motion that we can waive the public hearing for the modification of number 2.
Chadwick will make that motion.
Motion to waive the public hearing for the special exception modification for 61 East Industrial Road is made by Joe Chadwick. Is there a second?
Marcy will second that.
Second by Marcy. Any further discussion? All in favor? Joe Chadwick?
Joe Chadwick is in favor.
Fred Russo?
Fred Russo's in favor.
Joe Vayuso?
Nobody use in favor.
Marcy Palusi?
Marcy Palusi's in favor.
Chair is also in favor. Okay, and then the other items, we have a coastal site plan. I think we're waiting for some deep comments, but no public hearing required on that. That's number 3. Number 4, I think number 4 is the special exception for the cannabis use after the amendment was adopted at the last meeting. Now it's their special exception coming in for that. And I think that public hearing will be on the October 9th. Is that correct? Okay. Okay, so that does have a public hearing. And then item number 5, a number of revisions, switches around, and that's probably going to be October 23rd, I think you mentioned. Is that requiring any public hearings, or does it?
It will require a public hearing.
Okay, so that'll probably be on the October 23rd. And then item number 6, the coastal site plan demo. You tell us, we'll reach it when we reach it, I guess, but that doesn't require a public hearing, correct?
No public hearing.
Okay.
Just waiting on deep
so,
comments.
Okay, so we'll get to it when we get to it. And then Michelle mentioned there was one additional item that came in at 67 Cedar Street.
So if you, so 67 Cedar Street is a special exception, does require a public hearing. Recommend October 23rd.
Okay, so we'll do that one for October 23rd. So with that then, that's it for the new business. We'll go to the minutes of our September 4th, 2025, which I was not attended. And Fred, I just heard raves all the way in Alaska. Did you hear how Fred just ran that meeting? And
I did the best I could. That's all I can say.
I know, and I think I don't need to come back. So someone want to make a motion to approve the minutes of the September 4th, 2025 meeting.
Fred Russo will make that motion.
Fred makes a motion to approve the September 4th minutes. Is there a second?
Marcy, second.
Give it to Marcy.
To Joe Chadwick. I'm going to abstain because I wasn't here. Okay, so all those in favor, Joe Chadwick.
Joe Chadwick is in favor.
Fred Russo.
Fred Russo's in favor.
Joe Vayuso.
Joe Vayuso in favor.
Marcy Palusi.
Marcy's in favor.
Sharon, because I'm not going to vote. Were you here? You want to approve the minutes?
Yes, I was here and I vote yes.
Okay, thank you, Sharon. Okay, so those minutes are approved. Correspondence, what, do we have anything, McKeel?
No.
No correspondence, okay. Excellent. Other business, planners report. What do you got for us?
So as you might be aware, Jane Ellis, she resigned and her last day was a couple weeks ago. And we have been in the process of interviewing not just a wetland or a zoning enforcement officer, but since we have merged the department, it's a new position that covers zoning and wetland enforcement officer. We have made an offer to a candidate, and looks like they will accept. And they've indicated they want to start soon, so possibly as soon as next Wednesday. There's a couple hurdles with HR that need to happen, so that'll be good. If they are on board, then I will definitely have them attend the next meeting. And we also have another resignation because we're merging. Katie over in who's the Inland Wetlands Associate. She is taking a job in Guilford. So that is a new vacancy, and we actually have a number of candidates lined up for that. We're looking to fill that as well. So changes are happening.
Chuck and share. Thank you, McKeel. Other than new staffing, you got anything else you want to check in with us about?
Not at the moment. Really just the zoning text amendments that'll be coming up. So if you have comments, please share them. I've been meeting with other stakeholders and getting their feedback and looking to incorporate some of that as well.
Great. Joe Chadwick, have you raised your hand here?
Yeah, people were having trouble finding the raise hand feature on the Zoom Workplace. And we might want to add this to the chat at the beginning of the next meeting. If you go to React and you ignore the slew of goofy emoji reactions, there's a bar at the bottom that says raise hand and lower hand. It's not terrifically obvious because one's eye gets distracted by the noise from the emojis. It's a big bar going across the bottom. So anyone in the future can find that without having to hunt and peck.
I think it says recognize hand gestures, which is a little non-language. It's not like I'm just hitting it now. I'm not sure it's.
If you click directly on the heart, it'll bring up the menu that's being discussed.
There we go.
Okay. Good information. Thank you.
Of course.
Michelle, we all love you. No, okay. Okay. No, thank you, Joe Chadwick. That is a very good point. I thought it was more obvious too, but you're right. You wouldn't necessarily know. We had one person who couldn't find it.
Well, two
tonight
people, the
too,
attorney and
yeah.
I've never been able to find it myself. Just
Okay. Yeah. So we include that in the introductory stuff of how we operate, raise hand feature, which is in the heart under click the heart labeled React or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, don't hit the arrow, hit the heart. That was important, an important distinction.
Good. Thanks, Joe. Anyone else have anything else? Sharon.
Yes, Sharon Huntner here. Mikhail, when you first informed us about the merging of the two departments at the last meeting, you said you were going to be sending out some more information for us. Is there more information, and did you send it out?
I may not have, but I will do that right now. There is I have a one pager that talks about the overall rationale for what the department will be working on and need to address, as well as a chart that sort of shows how the responsibilities and the workload of the two departments will now, how they'll be addressed within the structure of this department. So I will send that out.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else have anything else? If not, then does someone make a motion? Oops.
I was just I just discovered the AI companion on the toolbar. So sometimes we can it seems to relate directly to things that have been discussed in the meeting while being recorded. So it's kind of a useful tool if you miss a detail or have a simple question, which I appreciate because I often interrupt. So
I don't know if Chuck Industry. I don't know. Is that available? If we, I don't know if Michelle, something you could use first when you draft the minutes, because that's a pain in the butt. Um, but I don't know if it's like if we saw the video, if we went on BCTV and like I missed the last meeting, I wonder if that would work. But or once it's recorded, it's done or something. I don't know if you have to activate it or does it just happen? Who knows? We need tech wizards. Dan, you're the youngest, so we expect you to know all this stuff.
well,
So-
I just asked
I'll
what
get started on it.
I just asked what the
Right.
Branford parking standard was for apartments because that had been an item, and it didn't go out of the meeting. It basically reiterated things that had been discussed in the meeting. So it seems like it takes information from the recording. So if you're not paying attention and you miss something, you can say what was just said, but you can't ask it to look anything up in the zoning regulations, for example.
Right. It's good, but don't depend on it too much because I have an APM who had been using the AI feature to write minutes for meetings, and a lot of times I would read them and say, "Were we in the same meeting?" And it's there are certain things that it records well, and there are other things that it just sort of wings.
Thanks, Joe. I like the certitude of AI. It gives definite yes and no answers, and whatever. They're not always correct. So right.
Better to be certain than correct.
That's right. Right. Looks good, but yeah. Anyone else got anything?
Chuck,
Okay,
Fred
so-
Russo, how was your trip
Yes,
to
Fred.
Alaska?
It was neat. It was, the last frontier. It's remote. There's things up there you don't see anywhere else in the continental. You went there for the reasons to go. You don't see glaciers. You don't see the remoteness. You don't see the wildlife. And it was a neat time. I recommend it.
Was it strictly on the ship, or did you get off the ship and?
We did both. We did about a 7-day land and about a 8-day ship, or vice versa. One of those. We kind of split it. So we did. When you go up to Denali or McKinley or whatever it's called these days, that's in the land part. But the glacier stuff, is the visibility by ship. The boats get right in there, and that's kind of neat. Yeah.
Thank you.
You bet. And I don't know if we met in person, we would have these sort of discussions. But here we go. Okay, anything else? Someone will make a motion to adjourn.
Fred Russo will make that motion.
Motion to adjourn by Fred. Is there a second?
Chadwick seconds.
Second, Joe Chadwick. Any further discussion? All those in favor, Joe Chadwick,
Joe Chadwick is in favor.
Fred Russo,
Fred Russo's in favor.
Joe Vayuso,
Joe Vayuso in favor.
Marcy,
Marcy's in favor.
and the chair is also in favor. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
This program was brought to you in part through the support of the Town of Branford. Watch town meetings and other videos on demand at BranfordTV.org.